Oh my god, guys, I got so much loot. It's unbelievable. Hey, what's up everyone? Andy here from Krusty Plug, and thank you for joining me for part 2 for my weekend charity shop loot drop review or recap. So yeah, if you haven't really checked the previous video, please go and watch that first. I'm gonna put the link down in description of this video. And yes, the video kind of was getting a bit longer last video because there was so much to show, so I decided to kind of cut it, end it, and come back with part 2 to basically manage my time and also your time a little bit better, instead of having one long ass video and keep you there for, you know, I don't know, 40 minutes, an hour or whatever it might have been. But anyway, guys, without any further waffle, let's just go and jump in and continue with my pickups. So in the previous video I left with, I think, how many did we have there? Loot number 3, I think it was, if I'm not mistaken. Was it number 3? Let me just check. I got one there, and then there was one there. Yeah, I think it was 3, so it's loot number 4 from memory. So yeah, let's jump in. So this was from one specific charity shop, and the deal was they're basically selling media for 5 pieces, so that's like movies, games, all the media is I think might be even like CDs, or CDs are different. I don't think CDs are classed as part of the same deal. But anyway, as far as films are concerned, like Blu-rays, DVDs and games, no matter what game it is on what platform, they do a deal 5 pieces for £1, and then they also do a separate deal on books. It is 5 books for £2. So I basically picked up 5 books, which I'm not going to really show you there because they weren't really game or video game related. And then I picked up some games and some DVDs, and as far as media concerned, there was 32 separate pieces. So it's actually worked out a little bit cheaper because they charged me £7 for the whole lot, and it works out, instead of paying kind of the normal 20 pence per piece on media, I ended up paying, I think, just under 16 pence. So actually got a little bit better deal, which is absolutely fine. So first of all, I'm not really going to go through all this pile, but I did pick up a pile with some Blu-rays and DVDs. Some of them I might keep, some of them I probably will use for trade to get a bit of credit done in CX or flip them some other way. So I'm really interested today to show you what games I got out there. So first of all, I picked up a PlayStation 3 copy of Assassin's Creed 3. I actually did have this game already in my collection, but because it was so cheap, I did pick it up anyway, and ultimately I will use this for trade as well, so I might get a £1 or 2 for it. Then, speaking of Assassin's Creed games, funnily enough, I got another Assassin's Creed 3 copy, and that's for PC. Speaking of PC games, in the previous video I did show you there was one PC game from the first loot pile. I do like collecting for PC as well. I think a lot of people dismiss PC as a kind of gaming platform, and they only concentrate on various video game consoles, but I do love collecting for PC, and I think some of the games on PC are absolutely amazing and exclusive. Especially there are very many strategy games available for PC that are not available on consoles and probably never will be. But yeah, so I picked this one up. This is actually a Uplay title, which means once the code is used, that makes this game ultimately redundant. So you can still use the disc for reinstalling purposes, but ultimately you cannot play this game for a second time, because once you use the serial code, that's it, you know, it locks you out. But nonetheless, I do have Assassin's Creed 3 already on my PC, but I bought it digitally some years back, and I never had a retail copy of it. So I was super excited to pick this up because I want to have kind of a complete Assassin's Creed series. I'm not sure whether I'm going to go for all the platforms, but at least, you know, have a game or two on one platform, and then maybe some on other platforms. So as long as I have access to all games in some way, I want to sit down one day and play all the Assassin's Creed games. And yes, super excited about that one there, and it's a clean copy, albeit it's not, you know, functional. It's still, for the collecting purposes, is a nice find. So then we have a couple or a few Xbox 360 games. First of all, did not have this in my collection, and it is Call of Duty Advanced Warfare, and it's Day Zero edition. Unfortunately, the case is a little bit cracked, but it's complete with manual and disc, or 2 discs even. And here we go. So that was the first 360 tile, and then 2 seconds, we'll just reorganize them there. And then another Assassin's Creed tile, and it's Rogue. So did not have this in my collection. I don't think I have this on any platform, so it happens on Xbox 360 is the first platform for this game I managed to get my hands on. So yeah, looking forward to play this. Then the following 2 Xbox 360 titles I did have in my collection already, and actually this is a second copy. There was a copy of this game already from the previous loot I got, and it's another copy of Red Dead Redemption. This holds still a little bit of value. Case is a little bit cracked, chipped, but I probably will end up trading this in CX. And then also a copy of the Elder Scrolls V Skyrim. So again, I had this in my collection already, so complete, and Red Dead, I think it was complete with manual and map, yep. Apart from the crack case, I think it was pretty good condition. So yeah, these 2 being traded as well, so I will be getting a few quid back for these and getting some credit. Now we're moving on to some PlayStation 2 titles, and again I got already quite a few PlayStation games in my collection, and always super excited to add more PlayStation 2 titles. PlayStation, Sony, PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2 are the kind of the 2 consoles that I was gaming fairly a lot on, so they kind of hold a little bit sentimental value for me, so I'm always happy to pick up these kind of older PlayStation games. So these following 5 games I did not have in my collection, and first of all we got here Kung Fu Panda. So this is the first game that I did not have. It's complete. I really enjoyed the film. Have never played the game, so it is a multi-platform game, a multi-system game. I might have it on some other platforms as well. I cannot quite remember at the moment, but wouldn't mind to check this out because I found the film quite enjoyable, so I want to see what's the game all about. Was a little bit surprised because when I picked this up I could have swore that I did have in this title in my collection, but it transpired actually I didn't, so pretty happy, and it is The Lord of the Rings, The Third Age. So yeah, that's getting added to my collection and it's complete, which is always nice. Then we got here Ridge Racer 5, a Namco title. So happy to add this to my collection, and that's complete as well in nice, fairly clean condition. Then we're moving on to a Harry Potter title, which I think I might have had once upon a time and traded it, but anyway, I'm getting it back in my collection, and this time it's staying, and it is Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. So I think this is iToy enhanced game, and it's complete. And then this unfortunately is not complete, manual is missing, but nonetheless it's not expensive. I think it's a really cheap title anyway, but I didn't have it, so always pleased to get my hands on something extremely cheap, especially if I don't have it in my collection. And it is Eternal Ring. So this is going into my collection, and unfortunately, as you can see, no manual, but nonetheless paid less, just under 16 pence for it, so I cannot really grudge. And ultimately one day I will pick up manual or even a complete game, and then I can, you know, swap that one out. Now the next two titles are PlayStation 2 games still, but I did have these in my collection, so these are going to get traded. And we got Transformers the game and Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire, and both are complete yet, so I'll use this for a bit of a trade credit. Then I have here from this loot two Nintendo V titles. The first one I didn't have in my collection, so this is going into my collection, and it is My Horse and Me. I probably will never ever play this game, but I'm still happy to add it to my collection, and it's complete. The case is a little bit tired, but nothing majorly wrong with it, so it's kind of okay. And then I think this retails for about £6, so ultimately if I flip this and get about £6 for it, so that's almost paid for all of these games, so I got the rest of the games almost for nothing. And it is Cooking Mama, so I do have this in my collection, and it is complete, so I'll see if I can get maybe £5–6 for it, and that will almost cover the cost of this pile I got here. Alright guys, so that was a loot drop number 4. Alright, moving on to loot number 5. And everything I have showed you so far from the previous video and in this video, that all was picked up on Friday. So this one here I picked up on Saturday, and this actually came out from the same charity shop I managed to get a bunch of Xbox 360 games already showed in the first video. I think it was like a loot number 1, and I got actually more Xbox 360 games out of the same charity shop when I went in on Saturday. So yeah, here we go. So again, it was a bit of a mix. I had a little pile of games, or picked up a little pile of games that I didn't have actually in my collection, and then there's a few games that I'm going to show you which I did actually have in my collection, but I will see if I can trade them on and get a little bit of credit here or there. Now, all of these games, they were £1, the same as the previous day on Friday, so these were still £1. And first game I have here is a complete copy of Dead to Rights Retribution, a Namco title, and it is complete, so happy to add that to my 360 collection. Then a little bit tired copy of Skate 2. From memory I have Skate 3 for 360, but didn't have this one, so this is again complete copy. Unfortunately got a sticker on the manual, but which is baked on now, but never mind. Then moving on, we got unfortunately not a complete copy of Overlord. I think I played this game a little bit on a PC, but never really committed to it. I think it was kind of alright and in a way fun game. But yeah, wouldn't mind seeing now it's in front of me again. Wouldn't mind to go back and give it some proper playtime. So yeah, unfortunately not complete, so disc only, but hey, still, you know, I did have it, so I'm happy to grab it. Then kind of was surprised, because again, this was one of the games I could have almost swore that I did have in my 360 collection, but again I may be getting mixed up with like PlayStation 3 or something, and it transpired I didn't have it, and it is Far Cry 2. I play this quite a lot on my PC. Unfortunately, well, it's complete, but unfortunately the disc is from the Classics edition, so it's not really the correct disc, but nonetheless, I got a playable copy of Far Cry 2. Now, I'm kind of in two minds whether I would rate this game highly enough to recommend it. I kind of did enjoy it, but I felt it was quite repetitive. I know that the Far Cry games like Far Cry 3, 4 and so on, they can be quite repetitive anyway. And it was a bit of a, I would say, detour from the original Far Cry game, where it was like an open kind of like sandbox. This was more like you know, go back and forth kind of thing, you know, but your mileage may, on opinion and feelings may vary. But yeah, I did play it quite a lot, but I don't think I ever completed it because I kind of get a little bit tired of it. But yeah, might give it another go at some point. Then got Formula 1 2012, so didn't have this one in my collection. I do have one or two Formula games, and this is complete, but the 2012 wasn't one of them, so that game is going into my collection as well. Then I didn't have this at all. I think, yes, no, I didn't have this at all. And it is Dead Island Riptide. So this is another one that's going into my collection. It's complete, fairly, well, there's a little scuff, but not a bad copy. And then I did have this on PlayStation 3, and again, it was one of these games I kind of assumed that I had on my 360 as well, but transpired I didn't. So ultimately happy to pick it up. And it is, well, I think this was the one that was quite bad. I can't remember which one it was rated really badly. And it's a shame because, well, the game in question is Aliens Colonial Marines, and it's a limited edition for 360. Now, I absolutely love Aliens franchise. This is complete, but I think it was, I cannot quite remember, I think this was the game that got really slated because it was quite bad, and I do not remember playing this, so I will assume that this was exactly the game that's got really bad press. If I'm mistaken, let me know down below in the comments, but I'm pretty sure this was the kind of the bad one. But nonetheless, I didn't have it, so I am happy to add it to my collection. And then I got another 5 Xbox 360 games, which I picked up as part of this loot, and I do have these already, so these are going to be traded, and hopefully I'll get a couple pounds for them, and you know, can use that credit or whatever it might be, cash, to buy some more goodies. And first of all, we got Deus Ex Human Revolution, Aliens vs Predator, WWE 12, LA Noire, Rockstar game, and 007 Quantum of Solace. So had these all in my collection already. Now, speaking of the games I do have in my collection, I haven't properly checked them, but what I normally do, if I end up picking up some games that I actually do have, I still go over them and kind of compare them. So, and sometimes what happens that I might have maybe a copy that is in rather poor condition or not in a great condition, and then I pick up another copy and it ends up being much better. So what I do is then swap the games out. So technically I do have these, but it's not said that I might not be able to actually utilize some of these games and swap them out with a worse copy I had already. So that's I need to go through and check it yet, but nonetheless it's there. So that's it, that's for this loot. Okay, and moving on to loot number 6. This was on Sunday. Unfortunately, I didn't get any games in this loot drop, so to speak. But I ended up picking 4 books, so to speak, and 3 films, 2 Blu-rays and a DVD. So it worked out 7 items, and I paid £2 for all that stuff, so it works out something like 30 pence, a little bit less than 30 pence per item. And as part of that pickup, I managed to get 2 game guides, so that's what I'm going to show you today here. So first of all, it's just a normal kind of like a paperback game guide of a Pokemon black version and white version, and it is in rather nice condition, so seeing as I only paid, ultimately probably ends up being less than 30 pence. So yeah, I was super chuffed to find this for that money. So all the pages are intact, no major issues with it, so really happy to add that to my collection. Speaking of game guides, guys, there will be probably some other video where I'm going to show some other stuff I managed to pick up in recent times, but I do love, I don't really ever or hardly ever use these game guides for if I play games. I kind of try to always figure the stuff out myself, but somehow I do love collecting these. So if you like collecting game guides too, then please let me know down below in comments, and I will be glad to hear your opinion on this stuff. And then I also picked up another game guide, which is actually a hardback copy, and really, again, nice condition, clean, and it is Star Wars Battlefront Collector's Edition Strategy Guide. I think there might be like a map or something missing. I'm not sure what it came with originally, but nonetheless, in a nice and clean condition, no really major scuffs or anything, no like bad corners, no any damage, all the pages are clean. So yeah, this is, I would say, probably at least 8 if not all 9 out of 10. So obviously not like brand new pristine, but not far off. So yeah, I'm really happy with this. Again, less than 30 pence, so cannot go wrong. And then that's it. So that was the last loot, charity shop loot from the previous weekend. And then I actually almost forgot to show to you, and there's one more item which wasn't charity shop but pickup, but it was out of my local CX. And I think it was also Friday when I got the most stuff I have showed to you over these 2 last videos, the part 1 and part 2. So the Friday was really exceptionally good, so I managed to pick quite a few games that I didn't have in my collection, and ultimately I am really happy to add them to my collection. But I also wandered into my local CX, had a look around. There wasn't anything that really jumped at me, and then I was almost like leaving the store, and I seen in one of the kind of glass displays they had a big box edition of something, and it kind of caught my eye, and I started to have a closer look, and it inspired to be a V game. And I, to be honest, have never ever heard of this game and never really seen it, and I decided to jump onto eBay on my phone to check what it was actually selling for, whether it was rare game, whether it wasn't. And actually there was only a handful of copies available on eBay, so it looked like it was some sort of like a rarer game. And I realized it probably was selling for double what CX were selling it for, and at that point I kind of concluded that for the price they were asking, it was actually a fairly good deal, a really good deal, and I decided to grab it. And it is a boxed complete copy of Wicked Monsters Blast. So this is a big box kind of edition, in reasonable condition, so there's only a little wear on the box, so it's rather clean and nice. There's a couple maybe a little scuffs on sides there, for example, but nothing too major. And it was £10, so yeah, I think on eBay it was going for at least like 20 quid, and I thought, well, for a tenner complete, and it comes with two little plastic blasters, yellow and kind of like pinky, or was it violet? I think it's pinky. So obviously you put the remote control inside, and then you kind of use it as a pistol, and it's obviously a ultimately a gun game of some sort for the Wii, and yes, this grabbed my attention, and I thought for 10 quid, yes, I'll take that, thank you very much. So I haven't really cleaned this up yet. There's obviously stickers in front and the back, and there's also security tab at the bottom. I'll see if I can slowly peel that one off as well and not rip the box. But yeah, need to clean that one up, and I'm happy to add this to my Wii collection as well. So yep. Alright guys, that's it. So the end of part 2. Once again, thank you very much for tuning in and joining me today. I am generally very excited to all this stuff I showed you over the last 2 videos to my collection. So there's quite a few games that I didn't have in my collection yet. I'm always happy to pick up games in charity shops if they are cheap enough, and especially the ones that I don't have in my collection. And here and there I get also a few games for future trades, which is always also nice to get a little bit back something for these games you pick up and don't need, and then, you know, ultimately that money then can be reinvested in my collection and I can buy even more goodies. But that's it guys, thank you so much for being with me. I hope you enjoyed these videos, and I hope, you know, you found some of this stuff interesting. And as always, if you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button. If you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, please consider doing so. And if you have anything to say, please drop me a comment down below. And apart from that, I shall see you quite soon in the next video. Take it easy.